Hey, what's up? This is Craig Smith with Energy Up Solar. Today I'm going to talk about the main reason why most people who could go solar have not switched over to solar. So, solar is such a no-brainer that if you could have it on your house, you should. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, first of all, not everybody can have solar. So, here's the requirements. One, you must own your home. So if you're in a rental, you cannot get solar on the house. It's something that the homeowner has to decide to do. Second, you have to have space for solar. So 99% of the time, we're putting on a rooftop, right? If the roof has exposure to the sun, then we throw solar on there. Now, there are some people that get ground mounts if they want to put it on land and they have enough space for that. But 99% of the time, putting on the roof is where you put it. It makes sense. There's nothing going on up there. You might as well throw solar up there and save you a bunch of money. So, got to own the home, got to have space for solar. And then the next one is if you're going to finance it, which most people do, you got to have decent enough credit. Generally speaking, about a 650 and above is going to get you in the green light area to finance solar. Unless you want to buy it cash, which is usually not a good investment of your money because you could do other things and make money with your cash and finance solar and still save money. Whole nother topic, but own the home, got to have the space for solar panels, and then decent enough credit to get approved. So if you can check all those boxes and you don't have solar, it's only because you don't understand solar, period. It's not because it's expensive. It's not because you're too old. It's not because you might move. It's not because your energy bills aren't that bad. Those are things that people say, but they only say that because they don't understand how solar works. The most common of all these reasons that I just mentioned is it's too expensive. It's a combination of people think it's too expensive and it's a big commitment, right? So, well, if I'm 80 years old, why would I want to take on that type of commitment, right? I'm 80. I'm going to die in the next 5 years. Or it could just be someone who's like, hey, we're not sure if we're going to stay in this house. This is a starter house for us. And, our goal is to be out of here in the next 3 to 5 years into something bigger. I don't want to commit to solar on a house that I'm not going to be in long term. So they see it as a commitment. Or expensive. That's the one. People think that solar costs a lot of money. Look, when you see the price of solar, it might be $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, depending on how much energy you need at your home. But solar is not a cost-based purchase. Like, I'm going to repeat that. Solar doesn't cost you money. Now, what you're probably saying is, what are you saying? It's free? Nothing's free. Of course it costs me money. No. Solar is not free in the sense where there's no price. It's just put on your roof and they don't ask you any questions. But solar doesn't cost you a dime. It costs you nothing. It's not a cost-based purchase. Solar has a price. We'll call it a sales price. It might sell for 60 grand. It might sell for 50 grand. You might have a more reasonable power bills, and it might sell for 30 grand. Like solar can be, I've sold systems as low as 10 grand and as high as $100,000 depending on how much energy that person needs. But all these people who went solar, it didn't cost them anything. Solar has a sales price, but not a cost. The cost is not going solar. That's what people should be looking at, because you're going to pay more money every single month to not have solar. So when people say, oh, you know what, solar was saving me, $50 a month on my energy bill, and $50 in savings is good, but that $40,000 price tag, that $40,000 expense, it's 40 grand in a 20-year commitment, and they freak out over what they perceive to be expensive and what they perceive to be a commitment of 20, 25 years. Look, if you're going to live in a house, whether you live in the house for 6 months or 60 years, you're going to need energy, right? I mean, unless you're off grid somewhere and you're living off the land somehow, which we're not talking about that. Anybody who owns a home is going to need energy. So when you think that going solar is a big commitment, like it's an extra commitment, it's a new ask. I'm asking you to make a change. I'm asking you to be obligated to something you weren't already obligated to. You're fooling yourself. Because if you want to have lights, if you want to have your TV, your Wi-Fi, your air conditioning, if you want anything in that house to turn on, then you're going to need energy. So any attachment to a home that you own comes already inclusive with the commitment to need energy. So don't look at owing money on a 20-year solar or a 25-year solar loan as an extra commitment, because all you're doing is locking in your costs for that period of time. So let's say you only live in your house for 3 years. You don't have to pay off the entire loan in 3 years to sell your home. New homeowner just takes over the payment. And before you say, well, but that new homeowner, what if they don't want it? What if they don't want the commitment? What if they don't want to pay the price? What if they don't want to be obligated to that? Well, if they're going to buy a home, don't you think they've already accepted the fact that it's going to need energy? Sure. Yeah. Like when you look at a home, if one house is 2,000 square feet and then another home is 6,000 square feet, I bet you're looking at the energy cost. Well, the 2,000 square foot home is nice, and a 6,000 square foot home is amazing. It's beautiful. It has all this space. You're going to be like, but what is that thing costing my energy bill every month? What's my energy bill on that house going to be? Whatever house people buy, they're looking at how that's going to set them back from an energy standpoint. Everyone does. Bigger the house, the bigger the cost to own the home. We know this. Now, when you sell a home with solar, it's not like, oh, I now I'm asking people, in addition to buying my home, to take on this solar commitment. No, this is the scenario I use, okay? You're driving up to a corner to get gas, to fill up your 50-gallon gas tank, right? You drive an old, big SUV. On corner A, there's a Chevron. Gas is $3 a gallon. On corner B, right across the street, Chevron, gas is $5 a gallon. So are you going to go pump at the $3 a gallon or the $5 a gallon? You know what I mean? You're asking them to take on the cheaper pump, the $3 versus $5, right? $3 versus $5. The point is this: when you sell your home with solar, it's not a big ask. It's a bonus. It's a cherry on top. It's added value. They're going to thank you because, well, all the other homes in your area that don't have solar, because they didn't understand it, they're all paying 2 times, 3 times, 4 times what everyone else, what you'll be paying for energy because you got solar, because you understood it. So this whole thing that like, oh, if I sell a house with solar, it's going to be really hard to get someone to take on that bill. It's nonsense. It's not true. It's not about solar. It's not about green energy. It's not about Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. It's about the pocketbook. It's a real simple test. Do I want to pay less or do I want to pay more? Would I like less with the guarantee to never increase, or more that's going to continue to increase? It's a no-brainer. So selling a home with solar is easy. So there's no commitment there. There's no long-term commitment that should scare you away. It's a guaranteed, locked-in lower rate. I don't care what the reason is that people claim going solar makes a million times more sense than not going solar. The only reason people don't go solar is because they don't understand it. Now, I've had people say, well, you can't tell me I don't understand it. I have 3 quotes. Don't you think if I had 3 quotes by now, I'd understand it? And my thing is this. Yeah, no, you don't. You may have had 3 quotes, but if you understood it, you would have went solar, because you probably didn't go solar because you thought it was too expensive, or you thought it was, your power bills weren't that bad, or you're worried about what if I move, or, I don't want to pay interest, or whatever nonsense you tell yourself. If you understood it, you'd realize that it's costing you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars not to do it. And nobody purposely lights thousands and thousands of dollars on fire. Craig Smith, Energy Up Solar. If you want to understand solar, log on to energyupsolar.com, fill out a form, and we will help you understand it.